Hello, University of Michigan School of Education graduates. My name is Dr. Julie Helber, and while I only teach one course in a master's level at the School of Ed, I would like to congratulate all of you for choosing a career that will make a huge difference in the world. I'm sure you accomplished so much over your career at the University of Michigan, but our hope is that you'll move into the field of education and make contributions that can never be taken away. Thank you so much again for choosing education, for choosing the University of Michigan. Go Blue.
Congratulations! I am so proud of you, and I am so proud of all of my interns on their hard work during this challenging year. And I know that each of you will go out and make this world a little more socially just for our next generation of students. And please do not forget to stay in touch with us. We would love to hear back from you. And go Blue!
Hello, graduates. We might be here on the virtual diag, but we'd still like to send our best wishes out to you, the School of Education, Class of 2021.
We are so proud of you and all that you have accomplished to earn your degree. And we can't wait to hear what's in store for you in the months and years to come.
So we hope you take pride in your accomplishment, and we hope that you have a wonderful and safe commencement day. Congratulations, and go Blue!
Hey, class of 2021, you made it! We're so incredibly proud of you, and you've just accomplished such great things in this incredibly challenging year. We're so excited to see what you go off to do next. Congratulations!
To all our graduates, congratulations. We are very, very proud of you, of everything you've accomplished in this very hard year. Special cheers to Brandy Barton, Kyla Manley, Colin Roberts, and Julia Maxwell. You will go very far. Please keep us posted.
This year with you all taught me that when we truly care for one another, anything is possible. I am very thankful for the compassion you showed me, one another, and the world. I entered the year with strong fear. I leave it with stronger hope. If we can make it through this together we can do so much more. Congratulations and go Blue.
I'd like to say congratulations to all of this year's graduates, especially graduates from the Peer Program, the MicroMasters Program, the MAC Program, and the World Languages Cohort, with an extra special shout out to Annie, Maddie, and Ella, Hall of Famers from the Ann Arbor Grasshoppers, the best Rec and Ed softball team ever. So to them and to all of our graduates, again, congratulations.
Stanzler, I want to give a special shout out to the secondary MAC students who've shown remarkable resilience this year. In a year when it would have been easy to throw up your hands in frustration, you've somehow persisted and found the learning opportunities. You should all feel very proud of yourselves. All of us on faculty are very proud of you. And it's clear to me that you'll be difference makers. I salute you.
Congratulations to the class of 2021 and a special shout out to the Daddle cohort.
Congratulations to the 2021 graduates in the School of Education. This is a time of immense change, both in post-secondary education and in our broader education systems around us. We know you will do great things and be leaders in our field.
Here's a shout out to Gabriel Della Vecchia, now Dr. Della Vecchia. Gabe, it has been such a pleasure to have this adventure with you, my last PhD student. I so admire your creativity, your finely honed moral compass, and your extremely generous spirit. The chance to work with you has been such a bright spot in these challenging times. Congratulations.
Congratulations, class of 2021. I am so honored to have been able to learn with you and from you as you've brought your remarkable lives and insights to our community. I am so excited for you as you take your next steps and use education to build a better world. Go Blue!
Congratulations, LMAC. I'm so proud of you. I saw you work really hard and in many thoughtful ways this year. You did it. Stay in touch.
We've been here for you starting well before the first day of classes, whether those were in person or virtual. We watched you find purpose, passion, knowledge, and a sense of self. When you realized that you could help make a difference, we watched you overcome hurdles and learn what makes you strong. We know the light that burns inside of you will impact individuals and communities across the globe, because your presence in our community made each day brighter than the last. So today, we honor you. On behalf of the Office of Student Affairs, congratulations. Now show the world what you can do.
Hello, STEAM and Scarlet student teachers. Congratulations! I am so excited for you that you've reached this point. You have worked so hard this year, and I have been so impressed with your work and your positive attitudes as you've faced all the challenges of learning to teach while being virtual this year. I think it's been an amazing year and I really enjoyed it. I'm going to miss you and I wish you all the very best. Keep in touch. Bye.
On behalf of the Educational Studies faculty, I congratulate the graduate students of our MA and PhD programs whose hard work and persistence has brought them to this day. April is Poetry Month, and I have selected an excerpt from Phyllis Wheatley, the first African American to publish a volume of poetry. This excerpt is from her poem, On Imagination. Imagination, who can sing thy force? Or who describe the swiftness of thy course? Soaring through air to find the bright abode, the imperial palace of the thundering God. We on thy pinions can surpass the wind and leave the rolling universe behind. From star to star the mental optics rove, measure the sky and range the realms above. There in one view we grasp the mighty whole, or with new worlds amaze the unbounded soul. We wish you the force of imagination and celebrate the good you will achieve with that imagination. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all our graduates on this special day. Thank you for trusting that we could learn together. And special congratulations to Dr. Nicolas Boileau, who completed his doctorate. May you all use your talents to foster the growth of knowledge everywhere you go.
I'd like to give a special congratulations to our higher education graduates in the School of Education. You have really accomplished an enormous amount during a really incredible year, and we hope that you take the time to enjoy this wonderful day.
Dear graduates, despite the last year making us have to be apart, you've all done so well adapting to these new challenges. I miss seeing all of you in person, and I hope that wherever life takes you, you remember your time here fondly. Congratulations, you did it. So take care of yourself and take a nap. You deserve it.
With what you've learned here at the School of Education, you're ready to go change the world. Wherever you go, go blue.
Congratulations, class of 2021. I'm so excited to see the difference that you'll make in the world, and I wish you
My name is Mikiko. I just wanted to thank all the faculty members who support me. I also wanted to thank all my friends. This difficult time has made our friendship deeper and stronger. This is my treasure. Lastly, to my parents in Japanese. お父さん、お母さん、本当にありがとうございます。
Hi, this is Nicole Afton. I want to give a big shout out to my mom and my sister for supporting me so much during my college years, and the rest of my family members too who have supported me along the way. And I also want to give a huge shout out to my fierce gal pals, Brooke, Sarah, Fran, and Miles, and I know they're going to be the most fabulous educators ever. Love you guys.
Shout out to my wonderful parents, family, siblings, and friends for all you have done for me throughout my schooling. Special shout out to Devin, my boyfriend, for supporting me and believing in me these past 4 years. Huge shout out to the School of Ed and all of my teachers there who have taught me all I know about how to become an excellent and culturally responsive teacher. I am so excited for what's to come.
I just want to say thank you, God. Thank you to my family, mom, dad, Ira and Kayla, to my grandparents, my aunts, uncles, and cousins, all my sister friends, my church family at the International Gospel Center, my colleagues at Teaching Works, and all the School of Education staff members who are involved in the Staff DHA professional learning community. Thank you so much for your continuous love and support and encouragement. I would not be here without you.
I want to make a shout out to my parents, Kevin and Suzette Bosger. Thank you so much for supporting me through my time at the university. I want to thank my friends for letting me complain all the time. And most importantly, I want to thank the professors and all the staff and everyone else who helped me get through my time at the university. Special thanks to all my mentor teachers. They were awesome. So thank you to everyone.
My name is Rebecca Gear, and I wanted to send a huge thank you to everyone at SOE, my amazing cohort, my incredible field instructors, Rachel and Kathleen, my wonderful mentor teacher, Janet, my parents, and all my family and friends who have supported me in this journey. Also, a huge shout out to all the brilliant students who I had the honor of learning from. I know that this is what I meant to do with my life because of all of you. Congrats, graduates, and go blue!
Hi everyone, I'd like to take this moment to thank everyone who's had such a wonderful impact on me these last few years. I want to thank all my classmates, in particular Delaney, Connor, Max, Josiah, Sean, Brooke, Jasmine, Olivia, and Gretel, my instructors, Marta, Bill, Megan, my advisor Sarah Powers, and the entire career services staff. I want to especially thank my entire family, Mom, Dad, Alice, and Evan. I love you all so much, and I couldn't have done it without you, and I will always be eternally grateful. Love you.
Thank you to my parents for always supporting me. Thank you, Marcia Gibbs, my mentor teacher, and all the other wonderful staff at Wines Elementary School. Thank you, Kathleen Fartini, Betsy Davis, Katie Ravel, Lucy Hartley, Rachel Elizabeth Weisler, Melissa Stoll, Betsy Davis. Thank you, Miles and Sarah, and thank you, John Jarlock, for always believing in me.
Congratulations, class of 2021. I just want to give a special shout out to my family, friends, and mentors for their unconditional love and support throughout the past year. Gracias por todo, lo logramos, and as always, go blue.
Hello everyone, it's my pleasure to be here. I did it. I have to say a lot of thanks. Thank you my mom and dad. Thank you my aunt and uncle. Thank you my advisor Don. Thanks to everyone who helped me. Thank you so much. I love you. Let's go blue forever.
Hi everyone. My name is Philip, and I want to give a shout out to my Mima and Papa. Thank you for your endless love and support. You've been in my corner since day one, and without you and your encouragement, I would not be earning this master's degree today. I also want to shout out Mom, Lenny, Angela, Dad, Pam, Jake, Taylor, Grandma Pat, Papa Frank. Thank you for always believing in me. I love you.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the School of Education's 2021 Spring Commencement Ceremony. I'm Elizabeth Burr-Moji, and I have the honor of serving as the Dean of the School of Education. The performance you just heard featured James Kibbe, Professor and Chair of Organ and University Organist in the School of Music, Theater, and Dance, in a video produced by the University of Michigan School of Music, Theater, and Dance. We are together today to celebrate the School of Education graduates of the University of Michigan Spring 2021 class. You hold the special honor of being our centennial class. That's right. This year, we celebrate the founding of our school in 1921. And although we are here to honor you, our graduates, I would also like to recognize our guests who are watching to celebrate with you today, just as they have supported and celebrated you throughout your education. Watching today are the parents, spouses, partners, children, relatives and friends, mentors, and attending teachers of our graduates. Thank you for all you have done for our graduates. We honor you today, too. I also acknowledge my incredible colleagues, the faculty members of the School of Education, who are normally on stage with me during commencement. I know that they are behind me today in spirit and are thrilled to celebrate your accomplishments today. I ask you to join me in thanking them for all they have done to help our graduates reach this important milestone. Now I welcome Vice President Robert Sellers. Dr. Sellers is Vice President for Equity and Inclusion and Chief Diversity Officer and Charles D. Moody Collegiate Professor of Psychology and Education. We are so pleased he is able to join us to say a few words to our candidates.
Hello, my name is Robert Sellers, and I'm the Vice Provost for Equity and Inclusion and Chief Diversity Officer here at the University of Michigan. Let me begin by expressing how much of an honor it is for me to be a part of today's School of Education commencement ceremony. While I wish we were all able to be together in person, it is still a great privilege to be able to be a part of this very special occasion. As a graduate of the university myself, I understand how rewarding this moment is for each and every one of you. In just a few moments, you will officially become alumnus of the University of Michigan. When you began your academic journey at this university, who would have imagined that you would experience the worst worldwide pandemic in a century? Or that you would see one of the most divisive political landscapes in memory? Or that you would watch the country go through a racial reckoning? Or that you would witness an insurrection at the nation's capital? You have been an important part of this university's efforts to make long-term sustainable cultural change, to make it a more accessible and effective place for all. In addition, you fought for the principles of diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice within the School of Education. While we have more work to do, because of your work and the work of other staff, faculty, and administrators, both U of M and the School of Ed are better institutions than they were when you first got here. As a result of your experiences on campus, good, bad, and ugly, I know that you are uniquely prepared to tackle the many challenges that await you. Your experiences at U of M have provided you with the knowledge, skills, and personal resilience that you'll need to make a difference in the world. And make no mistake, that is your assignment. Your assignment is to make a difference in our society. Your assignment is to provide greater opportunities for educational success for every student you encounter, whether it's through your pedagogy, your scholarship, or your leadership. But please pay particular attention and effort to those for whom society has positioned to be less successful. You can be the difference. You can make their future. Remember, the Latin root for education is to lead. Finally, as we celebrate you today, let us take the time to also acknowledge that you did not do this alone. I want to thank your families and personal networks for the role that they've played in this most auspicious moment. To them, I also extend my personal congratulations. Class of 2021, congratulations. Welcome to the club, and I wish you the very best, and forever go blue.
Thank you, Vice President Sellers. Next, I am delighted to introduce our student speaker, Gretel Payne, to address her fellow graduates. Ms. Payne is receiving her Bachelor of Arts in Education and Teaching certification in secondary English education.
I step into the halls once again, though they feel different this time. The linoleum floors tip-tap beneath my eager feet, calling me home to a place I've never called home before. The fluorescent lights blind my eyes with memories. A zombie clambering through lockers, books dragging their backpack into the abyss of learning. Neck cramping from the previous nights, up until the wee hours of the morning, finishing an assignment, turning in an essay, wishing it would all be over. Yearning for the day where tassels leap over rimmed caps, cascading down with the final sighs of relief. I'm jolted back with the sounds of laughter, whispering gossip, and complaints from two tired pupils. I question my decision to return. Was high school really that great? It was fine, but fine enough to want to be stuck there for the rest of my life? I weigh my options. Slide back across the floor, secretly slither out of the doors, and most would be none the wiser. Or march on, pretend I'm remotely sure of myself, and make the difference I want to make in the world. A few steps later, and here I am, welcoming you all to the 2021 School of Education Commencement. I'm guessing y'all can decipher which option I chose. This was not a choice I came to alone, though. Throughout this time, I've been supported by my family, friends, colleagues, and the School of Education staff. They've held my hand as I've been unsure, pulled me back when I wanted to leave, and cheered me on when I succeeded. If there is one thing I learned from my time in the School of Education, it's that you really have to love what you do in order to be in any profession in the realm of education. At the beginning of the semester, I had my AP Literature and Composition students listen to The Hill We Climb, the inaugural poem written by Amanda Gorman, the youngest poet laureate ever. We were thinking about what the hill represented when one student said, "I don't know about that hill, Miss Payne, but I do know about one hill I've got in my life, high school." He proceeded to compare high school to trying to climb up a slippery hill, but perpetually falling back down. In response, I brought up the Greek myth of Sisyphus, who, after cheating death and just all around being sort of a jerk, was sentenced to push a boulder up a hill in the underworld for the rest of his life. In reflecting on this moment later, I thought of a better educational metaphor for the infamous Greek. If you think about it, aren't we sort of like him? Every year, we will wake up, arrive at the bottom of our hill, and see this rock. The rock will be different for all of us. For me, it's made up of tired students just trying to reach the top. For others, the rock could be teachers, educational policies, research projects. We look at this rock and we just know, deep down, that it is our duty to get it to the top of the hill. We may struggle with knowing how we get it up there or why we are destined to move it, but we know that the rock must make it to the peak. So we begin to push. We put all of us, quite literally, our blood, sweat, and tears into pushing that dang rock up the hill. After a plethora of tries, some failed attempts, and, I'm guessing, a few mental breakdowns, we finally get the boulder to the top of the hill. We stand there, utterly proud of overcoming our daunting quest, when we look back down and see another boulder, patiently waiting for us at the foot of the hill. The next part just includes us sighing and running back down in order to figure out how in the heck we are going to do all of this again. Once we get to the bottom, we observe the new boulder. And while it may look very similar, this new boulder can't go up the exact same path as the last. So we assess, adapt, and make the decision to push on. This strength, this drive to push the rocks up the hill, is this mystical force that ties all of us in the School of Education together. No matter where we come from, what identities we inhabit, how we help others, how we choose to support others in their self-empowerment, we have not only the ability, but the commitment to help, encourage, and include. The School of Education focuses on DHEA, or diversity, inclusion, justice, and equity. It's something that is stressed in all of our classes. We've learned how to create equitable spaces through our teaching, our policies, our words, and our actions. We've learned that it is not any identity that sets us apart, but all of our identities that bring us together and make us stronger. From my time in the School of Education and as a student teacher, I've learned how important it is to support our colleagues in addition to our students. Not just in education, but in every sphere, our colleagues come from diverse backgrounds. Not all of them have the same education, same training, same experiences in the classroom. This is another place we must strive for equity and inclusion. We need to support each other, collaborate, and work together to build a strong community in which we encourage these 4 pillars. And though at times this will be difficult, heck, it may seem utterly impossible, working together we find ways to promote DHEA outside of the walls of the School of Education. Not to throw another analogy at you, though I am an English teacher, so it is in my blood, but our choice to engage in this work makes me think back to those Choose Your Own Adventure books. The ones where you would have to pick an option and it would take you to another page where you'd learn the consequences of your actions. And the story would be drastically different based on which option you chose. But that's what I think choosing a career in education is like. You have the options in front of you. Do you want to, A, quit and leave the rock where it is, stranded at the bottom of the hill, probably go off and make a ton of money and get to sleep in every day? B, push one rock up a hill and call it a day. Then later in life, you probably think of that rock for a split second, but then go on with whatever you're doing. Or C, perpetually push rocks up a hill because you care about each of the rocks entirely too much, and you just want to give it its best chance at succeeding. I mean, when in doubt, choose C, right? Guess hearing that from our own educators really stuck with us, because here we all are. And though our journey has just started, who knows exactly what page we'll end up on, how many rocks will push up the hill, and how many lives will change. I think we all know that C ended up being the right choice after all.
Thank you, Ms. Payne. We are so proud of you, both as an individual and as a representative of your fellow students, all as amazing as you are. We are fortunate that you have chosen education as your profession. Before I introduce Christopher Paul Curtis, our keynote speaker, I would like to say a few words to our graduates and their families. I wish we could all be together in person today, celebrating your incredible accomplishments. Whether you were with us in the School of Education for 1 year, 2 years, or more, whether you called Ann Arbor your home or completed your program remotely, know that you are crossing that stage today. And on the other side, we embrace you as a lifelong member of the School of Education community, where you are always welcome. That includes an evergreen invitation to participate in a future School of Education spring commencement in Hill Auditorium, whenever you are able to return to Ann Arbor. Now, that invitation is being offered here because of our unique circumstances, but we would be tempted to offer it to you anyway, because you are a truly special class of SOE graduates. You are the School of Education's centennial class of 2021. Your diverse experiences and unique perspectives are symbolic of the powerful changes our school and our society have undergone over the past 100 years. Our school grew out of an existing program housed in the College of Literature, Science, and the Arts, and launched in 1879 to prepare students in the science and the art of teaching. In 1907, a Department of Education was formed, and soon formed a partnership with the Ann Arbor Board of Education and the W.S. Perry Elementary School in Ann Arbor, which launched a long legacy of partnering with local school systems, a practice we proudly carry forward into the next century. And then, on the heels of the 1918 influenza pandemic, the university began to build the University High School and School of Education building in 1919. the actual School of Education was launched in 1921. The School of Education thus has advanced community-engaged scholarship and practice from its inception, starting with the University High School and Elementary School, both of which resided within our building until 1968. In the 1940s, courses in community and adult education created the foundation for what would become the Center for the Study of Higher and Post-Secondary Education in 1957. Our programs grew, and community partnerships expanded beyond our walls during the tumultuous time period from post-World War II through the civil rights era of the 1960s and 70s. Our students and faculty responded by challenging the notions of diversity and inclusion in education, both in our school and in our nation. These students and faculty were the forebears of many of the critical issues we are working to address today, and it is your shared legacy that propels us together into the next century. Amid a turbulent and changing world, facing historic challenges, you, like those before you, are a driving force for positive change. Even as students, you are already leading this generation's push for equity and justice in education. You are dedicated to learning and developing anti-racist practice in teaching, learning, and education research and policy, so that together we can actively dismantle the systemic and structural racism that pervades our education systems and society. Bolstered by the knowledge, experiences, and relationships you have gained during your time in the School of Education, you are poised to shape the future of education. Each of you brings a unique perspective to this work through your identities and experiences. You carried your own stories as you matriculated through our education systems. You are guided by the influence of the family members, loved ones, and colleagues who have inspired you along the way. In this way, each of you has something singular to offer to this profession of education, the most important profession, and to the innumerable children, youth, and adults who you will empower in their own journeys. And yet, like no other graduating class I have seen in my 20-plus years in the School of Education at the University of Michigan, you are connected through the collective experience of this pandemic. There is no other way to say it. This has been an enormously difficult year. The events of the past year, including the current civil rights movement, and particularly our work to end anti-Black hate and violence, have presented immense challenges, even as we have seen opportunities for self-improvement and hope. This year challenged your well-being, resilience, and your survival as you faced your own hardships and also worked to address the needs of others during this time. As the pandemic unfolded, you forged powerful bonds of solidarity with your peers, even when you had never met them in person. Many of you went above and beyond to support children's learning as you realized the vast disparities in remote schooling access. Others took up studies to help our society understand the effects of the pandemic on students of all ages, from pre-kindergarten through college. And still others led by simply getting through every day and showing care and love for each other. Getting through every day was powerful. Loving each other was powerful. And in doing that, we reminded ourselves that we do not have to be superhuman to have humanity. We do not have to work harder than anyone else to prove our worth. The events of the past year also challenged us to rethink our future as a society. Even amid tragedies, you embraced the possibilities of learning from this experience to grow something new, something hopeful. You stepped into important roles as teachers, leaders, and friends, striving to craft a truly more just and inclusive School of Education, and working in service of creating a more just and inclusive education system and society. Although you were subject to immense change this year, I am confident from this moment you will become the agents of positive change for our collective future. We can only speculate what this world, what education, will look like in 100 years when the School of Education reaches its bicentennial. None of us will be here, unless there's some newborn out there listening in, But the seeds you plant today as educators and leaders will have flourished all over the world. Actually, you've already made your mark on the School of Education, on the University of Michigan, and on our society. You will continue to plant those seeds and work for meaningful change. I cannot wait to see what you will do in the next few years and in the coming decades. I know that it will make us all so proud, or SOE proud, as we say, and you will always go blue. And now it is my honor to introduce our commencement speaker, award-winning author and Michigan alumnus, Christopher Paul Curtis. Christopher Paul Curtis is the author of 9 books for young people that are read by school children everywhere, including Bud Not Buddy, The Mighty Miss Malone, Elijah of Buxton, The Watsons Go to Birmingham, 1963, and Mr. Chicky's Funny Money. His books have been translated into 12 languages, and more than 7 million copies have been sold around the world. Curtis was the first African-American male to be awarded the prestigious Newbery Medal, which he received in 2000. Originally from Flint, Michigan, Mr. Curtis obtained his bachelor's degree from the University of Michigan in Flint and worked for 13 years at the historic Flint Fisher Body No. 1 automobile factory. Welcome to the virtual stage, Mr. Curtis.
Hello, my name is Christopher Paul Curtis. I'm an author and a proud graduate of the University of Michigan, Flint. I've decided to call this address, You Want to Be a What? I'm calling it that because I bet those were the exact words some of you heard when you announced that being an educator was the goal you were about to spend over $100,000 to achieve. I'd also bet if you were to read the title of this talk out loud, most of you wouldn't do it properly. It isn't, you want to be a teacher, followed by a look of joy. It's, you want to be a what? Followed by a pained expression. And that reaction is understandable. A lot of folks just don't get it. They choose to ignore the great pay you'll be receiving, the short hours you'll put in, the 3 whole months of vacation that are right around the corner. These naysayers don't recognize the puppy-like looks of love and devotion your students will greet you with, or the high regard which lawmakers and politicians will hold you. And especially, they refuse to see the warmth, the appreciation, the support that will be showered on you by your students' parents. Sorry. But seriously, you knew the odds you'd be up against, and you did it anyway. What an accomplishment. Huge congratulations and respect to all of you. I joke about your role, but I bet many of you are in the same position I'm in, where, for some inexplicable reason, you feel a great sense of indebtedness to a teacher or teachers. I'd like to briefly discuss 2 such teachers who've had an outsized influence on my life. Starting out with my favorite grade in my very, very, very long academic career, 3rd grade. My middle daughter, the 9-year-old, says 3rd grade was my favorite because that was the first time I got through the entire year without wetting my pants in class. Technically true, but that's neither here nor there. In 1st and 2nd grade, I had the same substitute teacher, and both times she'd refuse to let me go to the bathroom, and we both paid the price. The real reason I loved 3rd grade was because of a teacher, Miss Henry, also known as Suzanne Henry Jakeway. And I have absolutely no idea why she is so important to me. I tried understanding why and drew a blank. I mean, she was in my life a mere 7 hours a day for 5 days a week for 9 months, which is an eye blink. But other than my parents, she and a couple of other teachers were the most important people involved in shaping me into an author and a person. She was also a part of my most memorable day of being a writer. The city of Flint had declared a Christopher Paul Curtis Day, and the mayor introduced me and said they'd recruited a special person to give me the key to the city. This would actually be my 3rd key to the city, but I have to say it meant much more to me than the other 2, which I bought off eBay. A little itty bitty woman walked on the stage, and even though I hadn't seen her in more than 35 years, I knew who she was right away. I bawled. She gave me a great big hug and said, "Oh, Christopher, you never got over the crying thing, huh?" She then announced I was Room C's Student of the Week and stuck a blue star on my forehead. I was toast. I cried. Thank you so much, Miss Henry. She poo-pooed me and said, you can call me Suzanne. I tried to, 3 times, and realized it wasn't going to happen. 35 years had gone by, and this woman was so important that it was impossible for me to call her by her first name. That's an impact. That's the power you'll be wielding. The next teacher whose fingerprints are all over my life is my 6th grade teacher, Mr. Roland Allums. He was someone I had dreaded since 2nd grade because his big bugaboo was cursive. And if you've ever seen an inscription I'd written on a book, you know why I was terrified of him. My handwriting is so bad that a rare bookstore had a first edition copy of the Watson's Go to Birmingham for sale, and the description the bookstore had put on it was, illegible inscription and signature, purportedly by the author. So, from 2nd grade on, I was terrified about going into the 6th grade. The word that best described Mr. Allums was prim. He was reed thin, wore suspenders, was no nonsense, and could move like a cheetah. Do something wrong and he was in your face in 4/10 of a second. The rumor around Clark Elementary was that Mr. Allums was so ferocious that he had made the school's alpha bully, whose name was Buphead, cry. And if he could bring tears to the eyes of a fully bearded 6-footer who was making his 3rd appearance in 6th grade and whose name was Buphead, what the hell type of horrible image does the name Buphead bring up? If Mr. Allums brought Buphead to tears, what would he do to a fragile kid like me? I knew the whole pants peeing in class process was about to start back up. But Mr. Allums was an excellent teacher. When he first saw my scribblings, he shuddered. He took a huge breath and finally regained his composure. Then he said, "Oh dear, we have a lot of work ahead of us." For months, Mr. Allums gave me personal attention, after-school sessions, and homework. I'll never forget the day when he said words that have been seared into my memory. "Mr. Curtis," he said, "in over 20 years of teaching, I've discovered there are certain individuals to whom handwriting remains a complete mystery. They are quite incapable of writing cursive. You, sir, are one of those individuals. From this point on, you have my permission to print everything you write." Instead of pounding me and completely destroying any type of good feelings I had about school, he was understanding. He wasn't going to let my total lack of coordination get in the way of me learning, and I loved him for that. He was a teacher. I've been asked if there were anything I regret about my writing career. The only thing I can think of is that I wish I'd started earlier. I was 42 years old when my first book came out, and I wish my father and Mr. Allums had lived long enough to have read one of them. I can't imagine how proud they would have been of me. One of the favorite parts of my job as an author is traveling around the country speaking at schools. I absolutely love talking to kids. We have a riot. After I'd spoken at a large school somewhere in the South, I was being driven to the airport by a principal, and she said, "How long were you a teacher?" I said, "How long was I a what?" with a pained expression. She said, "You weren't a teacher?" I told her, "No." She said, "I'm surprised the way you work those kids. I just knew you had classroom experience." Wow. Here I was being compared to a teacher, and I hadn't put in the work, hadn't dealt with the students, and didn't have a mortgage-sized student loan debt on my back. High praise indeed. I hope you never listen to those people with pained expressions who say, "You want to be a what?" Instead, as you look back at your years at the University of Michigan and think about the many other students you passed in the quad, or on your way to class, or in the library, I hope you feel some smugness. I want you to engage in a little well-deserved gloating. For with all the brilliant minds you'll pass, with all the potential future greatness you'll brush up against, no, there isn't one other profession on this Ann Arbor campus that is capable of having a more positive impact on as many human beings that you, as a teacher, will. No doctor, no lawyer, no writer will leave as big a footprint on as many people's lives as you. Teaching is hard. Teaching is very hard, and the burden will prove to be too much for some of your colleagues. That's not their fault. That's society's fault. That's completely understandable. Even on those days when it feels as though it's become too much for you, go into class each day knowing this may be the day that you start a fire in some student. Know that unlike any other profession, your reach is capable of extending 30 or 40 or even 50 years into the future. We're talking the year 2071. We're talking a reach that exceeds Inspector Gadget's. Miss Henry was 20 years old when I was her student. Mine was the first class she'd ever taught. And here I am, half a century later, talking about her as if she's some kind of superhero. and she is. And there are students out there waiting for you, waiting for their superhero. That's the path you've chosen. Congratulations. As part of my homework for writing this address, I called my youngest sister, Sarah, U of M Flint English major 1991, teaching certificate, University of Maryland 2005, MS in education from Walden University 2016, who only stopped teaching after she lost her vision. I asked Sarah what I should tell you about teaching. She said, take care of yourself. Burnout is right around the corner if you don't. Sarah said, keep growing educationally and understand how important your job is. But above all, tell them to take care of themselves. In closing, I once again offer my sincere congratulations to all of you, but I do want to single out one particular group. I spent the last 25 years traveling to different conferences and schools and seminars, and I see almost no African American male teachers. To those of you out there in particular, I say congratulations, 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 and thank you for what you're doing. To all of you, become someone's Mr. Adams, become someone's Miss Henry. You got into this wonderful, maddening, often thankless job for a reason. Stay strong. As if you won't have enough on your plate, the world has become topsy-turvy with COVID, and you'll be facing issues none of us could imagine. It has become so topsy-turvy that I thought maybe you'd like to hear some advice from the one cohort that may be affected more by the coronavirus than you, your students. So I'd like to introduce my children. Guys? Now, one of the things that you're asked as an author all the time is, what is your favorite book? Do you have a favorite book? And as authors, we've learned to say, I don't have favorites. That's what most authors would tell you. My books are like my children. I don't have a favorite. I'm a little different. I have favorite children and I have favorite books. I'd like to introduce you to my favorite 10-year-old.
Hi.
This is Ayan. Ayan, do you have anything you'd like to say to this future group of teachers?
Actually, yes. One day I want to become a teacher too.
Very good. Abian, if you thought these teachers would take your advice, what would it be?
Be extra kind to the students with bladder control issues because they might become an author and you just might be in a book.
Liban, what would you say?
Go Blue!
Go Blue! Yay! Congratulations, you did it. Good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. And now it is my great pleasure to recognize the degree candidates. We will begin with the candidates earning their minor in Education for Empowerment. The name reader is Professor Michael Bastido, Director of the Center for the Study of Higher and Post-Secondary Education.
Natalie Angel. Mohit Aspal. Mariah Benford. Benjamin Biber. Ariana Dong. Marley Durst. Akili Eccles. Maximilian Grahl. Rita Hathaway. Ashley Hayes. Elizabeth Hoonstra. Sydney Janicki. Brittany Carcho. Aram Lee. Christina Losi. Lily Montgomery. Brianna Morini. Aviva Nemeth. Riley O'Keefe. Leanne Alona. Mark Ricciardi. Alexandra Rizodkush. Damaris Salvadora Stroker. Cora Scott. Audrey Smith. Gideon Soche. Allison Sparpana. Radu Talantan. Jordan Tayo. Anna Venesti.
Claire Weil, Madeline Zondhaus.
Next, we will recognize the undergraduate education candidates. The name reader is Professor Vilma Mesa in Educational Studies. I now welcome the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, and Teacher Certification candidates to the virtual stage for individual recognition.
Avery, Nicole Afton, Iman Aljami, Miles Bennett, Noah Borgdorf, Luca Borntrager, Kendra Braden, Austin Bryan, Justin Gadaret, Isaac Cathy, Kayla Chenetz, Brooke Christians, Max Clark, Charity Cummins, Jonathan D'Alessandro, Olivia Davis, Brooke Desmither, Sydney Dornbos, Isra El Shafi, Frances Fenelon, Jessica Gardner, Rebecca Hope Gear, Maya Gumper, Delani Gravlin, Sarah Beth Greenwald, Kelsey Elena Hackney, Florentina Halowicki, Hassan Jafar, Brittany Jiang, Elizabeth Keebler, Cami Lian Keeler, Blue Kafran, Mackenzie Creekard, Andrew Gerald Laidlaw, Chiki Lau, Greta Leader, Sophia Little, Sean Patrick Martin, Emmy McCann, Connor McMahon, Jasmine Maeve Miller, Alexa Moore, Claire Morrissey, William Jacob Overland, Jan Sue Park, Gretel Payne, Macy Gulias Perovich, Jasmine Rogan, Micah Seaman, Noah Silvery, Carly Rose Silverstein, Savon Smith, Hannah Socha, Stephanie Steiner, Madeline Tran, Madeline Triber, Maria Eleni Tsakos, Josiah Vaccaro, Kylie Eileen Vespa, Gabriela Washington, Samantha Weber, Elizabeth Wyland, Alex Ann Worth, Emily Agnes Raubel, Diana Yassin, Aisha Zafar, Jonathan Busger, Jinjin Chen, Haley Langland, Foster Y. Susik. Leah Annabelle Burns. Angelina Michelle Brede. Alexander Sipo. Amanda Chrissy. Benjamin Fisher. Haley Fulton. Emily Gordy. Erin Haney. Andrew Liam Heischer. Regis Aser Haynes. Benjamin Joswiak. Danielle Ayomide Kumapai. Eric Schroeder. Jonathan Thomas. Jack Williams III. Rebecca Williamson.
Next, I welcome the Master of Arts with Teacher Certification candidates to the virtual stage for individual recognition. The name reader is Professor Anne-Marie Palinsar, Chair of Educational Studies.
Sabrina Alafita. Fatima Al-Kamusi. Brittany Author. Grace Bianco. Lisa Brown. Olivia DiCaprio. Catherine Delaney Dodge. Shannon Fitzpatrick. Sarah N. Jackson. Olivia Jean Kagan. Daniel Kratt. Megan Lashbrook. Alana LaFline. Alexandra Nicole Lepic. Sarah Meath. Lauren Kathleen Perry. Amanda Robertson. Natalie Patricia Sanford. Scott Schiff. Madeline Shaney. Olivia Ciori. Emily Rose Stifler. Leah Sulecki. Stephanie Uloa. Shiwei Zhu. Madeline Alpert. Matthew Joseph Anderson. Charlie Anasinski. Bergen Alexander Bauer. Gregory Allen Beamish. Harry M. Berkowitz. Riley Kate Brannigan. Mitchell Brown. Hai Kao. Christiana Castillo. Anne Elise Cohen. Fanta M. Kulabali. Amelia Christina Cowan. Margaret Dole. Madeline Drakakis. Andres Javier Malik Alamin Martinez. Carolyn Ann Evans. Shayna Flannery. Sarah Greer. Lauren Harrington. Lindsay Helfman. Ella Horwittle. Hannah R. Kadlik. Jessica Lynn Kostachek. Sarah Kushner. Michael Ryan Kutch. Jacob Lee, Joshua I. Levine, Timothy J. Lilienthal, Xiaojun Crystal Ling, Victoria Lindenfeld, Edwin Mays, Keenan Milani, Nathan Nikolai, Liz Nussbaum, Austin Joseph Peters, Annie Purock, Johanna M. Polson, Luciana S. Q, Daniel Ryan, Andrew Smutek, Aled Roberts Tien, Matthew B. Willig.
I now welcome the candidates for master's degrees in education to the virtual stage for individual recognition. This group includes candidates from educational studies and higher and post-secondary education, as well as those who are earning their Learning Experience Design Graduate Certificate. The name readers are Professor Anne-Marie Palinsar and Professor Michael Bestido.
Philip Abdu, Jessica Amy, Brandy E. Barton, Austin Max Bierma, Abby Bradley, Alyssa LaDawn Brandon, Kendall Elaine Bowie, Young Cha, Lei Ming Ding, Zoe Iber, Bailey Ernst, Nicholas Frank Garza, Amber Nicole Goodwin, Alexander Harris Jr., Tony I. Holland, Charles Hoying, Julia Courant, Nita A. Kedarnath, Rachel Kitchens, Dave Coble, Miki Kono, Jiangyang Li, Louise Liu, Kayla Manley, Julia Maxwell, Dante Kenneth Nathaniel Michael, Patrick Mullen Kofopoulos, Valentina Polomed, Mawia Parwin, Paula Manrique Gomez Pfeffer, Colin Roberts, Jacob Robinson, Yesenia G. Sandoval, Sarah Sherbel, Carolyn Seeger, Jamie Thompson, Sarah Thompson, Benjamin Tupper, Burnett Fave, Allison Wang, Josie Whalen, Jian Yu, Zhou Zhang,
Dominique Orfano Acosta, Heidi Bennett, Leticia Cruz, Kaylani Demapan, Alex T. Fong, Maya Haynes, Mark Holmgren, Samuel Kaiser, Arissa Stephanie Coinas, Barton Linderman, Ivana Lopez Espinosa, Terrence McQueen, Andrew Monroe, Alma R. Orozco, Allison B. Rivet, Allison Rodriguez, Jordan Dean Ross, Helen Svichkov, Alyssa May Skelton, Leslie Aquia Asa Teta, Ellen Toth, Brennan Valance, Dante Vasquez, Meng Wang, Megan Wheat, John Andre Williams, Timothy Williams.
Finally, I recognize the candidates for doctoral degrees, read by Professor Michael Bastido. First, I offer a quick word about the perseverance and commitment of this group. Doctoral preparation requires 4 to 5 years of rigorous study, cultivating a carefully crafted book-length report of the findings of research. Each of these individuals who is about to walk across the stage has dedicated a lifetime to education practice, research, and innovation. Please welcome our candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy in Education to the virtual stage.
Adam Benyon, Anne E. Blaze, Nicholas Boileau, Jeffrey Michael Della Rovere, Gabriel Philip Della Vecchia, Colby Gadd, Whitney Hegseth, Carolyn Hetrick, Min Kwang Huynh, Laura Ann Jacobs, Megan Johnson, Tanya Neff Chong, Julia Lindsay, Carolyn Patruka Masarong, Nick Muling, Dana G. Nixon, Ebony Peruse Harvey, Kimberly Charisse Ransom, Anne Elizabeth Reinish, Joey Lynn Selling, Anna Catherine Shapiro, Emily Terrio Kimmy, Ann Coleman Weber, Amber Tennille Willis, Glory V. Fonseca, Amy Fulton, Christina Simone Morton, Erica Mosiowski, Megan Lee Oster, Abunya Cecilia Aji, Alexa Ellis, Costa Guillaume, Rebecca Marks, Channing Matthews, Sarah McKellar, Michael Allen Medina, Lily Margaret Moffett, Kristen Van Eyck, Ryan McCarty, Adrienne Raw, Elizabeth Tack,
Congratulations and best wishes to you all. I now introduce Rishi Maudgil to welcome these graduates as our newest alumni of the School of Education. Mr. Maudgil received his Bachelor of Business Administration from the Ross School of Business and his dual Master of Arts in Educational Studies and Master of Business Administration from the School of Education and the Ross School of Business. He is the founding executive director of Greenlight Fund Detroit.
Hello, graduates, and welcome to the other side, as you are now officially alumni of the School of Education. Now that you've received your degree, you're joining a distinguished body of practitioners, policymakers, and researchers around the state, nation, and world. As educators, together, we'll be on the front lines of progress, hope, and prosperity for so many. I expect many of you will trade your commencement hood for a superhero cape and flex your education superpowers for countless children, youth, and families. This is indeed a unique and special time. Society looks different now, and likely you look or feel different than when you started your degree. But on this 100th anniversary of our school, and as University of Michigan graduates, you will continue a long legacy of pursuing equitable and just opportunities for all. So our network of alums are excited to embrace you as we continue to make significant positive change to address pressing challenges together. Let's get to work and go blue. And now it's my pleasure to share these words of welcome and congratulations from my fellow School of Education alumni.
Congratulations, 2021 graduate. As James Baldwin once said, beyond talent by all the usual words, discipline, love, luck, but most of all, endurance. You've made it. Congratulations on your graduation and on becoming an alumni. As you take the next steps in your journey, take a moment to reflect on all of your accomplishments. Congratulations.
Congratulations, School of Ed, class of 2021. I'm Jennifer Tiggs, coming to you from Detroit, Michigan. I am from the class of 2002 and an elementary education major. Thank you for joining me and many others in this important soul work of educating others and yourselves. I am elated to have you join or continue working in the field of education, one that is liberating, important, and challenging, especially now. Go Blue.
Greetings, School of Education class of 2021. My name is Karen Downing, and in addition to being a proud graduate of the School of Education from 2009, I am also the education librarian. So I've worked with a lot of you over the years that you've been here. And I just wanted to offer my sincere congratulations to each and every one of you. I'm so proud of everything you've accomplished, and in working with you, I know that you are committed to using your degree to make society a better and stronger place. And so I wanted to say congratulations, good luck, and go Blue.
Congratulations, class of 2021. This is Mr. Khalid here. And in a year of unprecedented change, you all have flourished. And this commencement ceremony right here is just one of the numerous examples highlighting all of the hard work that you've done this year. If I can give you just a few words of wisdom, is that continue to have these conversations with your peers, with your students, with your new administrators as it relates to race, as it relates to community, as it relates to pedagogy. As we all know, education has changed and will continue to change as a result of this year. We want to make sure that we're shifting the pendulum in the right direction. And it's only through having some of those conversations and, more importantly, implementing these things into your content that we'll be able to push that pendulum forward. Know that you probably won't be able to solve or have all of these answers within the course of a lesson or within the course of the unit. And that is completely okay, because It's through these conversations, it's through these implementation that we as a profession only get better. So class of 2021, we are so excited to have you join the ranks with us in the fall. Please know that your individuality, your passion, and your love for your students in the classroom is what is going to continue to excel and push this profession of education in the right direction. So once again, congratulations. Hope you are enjoying your special day, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you to our School of Education alumnus for that warm welcome. Now I would like to introduce Provost Susan Collins. Provost Collins is Executive Vice President for Academic and Budgetary Affairs, Edward M. Gramlich Collegiate Professor of Public Policy, and Professor of Economics. We are so pleased she is able to join us to say a few words to our graduates.
I'm honored and delighted to have the opportunity to congratulate you, the School of Education graduates of 2021. Throughout its 100-year history, the school has been a leader in deepening our understanding of how people learn, developing effective methods of instruction, training teachers, administrators, policymakers, and researchers, connecting educational practices to the challenges facing society. The work of the school and its alumni makes real the promise of education, which Kofi Annan, former UN General Secretary, described this way: education is a human right with immense power to transform. On its foundation rests the cornerstones of freedom, democracy, and sustainable human development. So as you graduate today, you are well prepared to carry this legacy forward. And I am confident you will do so with intelligence, imagination, and passion, and that you will always be recognized as leaders and best.
Thank you, Provost Collins. Now, this may feel a bit awkward at home, but I ask that you all please stand up. Come on, I'll wait for you. Together, all around the world, we are going to sing with the University of Michigan Men's Glee Club as they lead us in singing the Alma Mater, followed by the Victors performed by the Michigan Marching Band. Please sing along with me, you know I'll be singing, your fellow graduates, your professors, and all those watching who know the words. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this important day. On behalf of the faculty and staff at the School of Education, it has been a privilege to teach you, to work with you, and to learn from you during your time at the School of Education. We look forward to hearing about your adventures and accomplishments. Congratulations and best wishes. Go Blue!
Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Michigan, the leaders and best.
Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Michigan, the champions of the world.
Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Michigan, the leaders and best. Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Michigan, the champions of the West. Go Blue! Go Blue! To be a Michigan Bull. Go Blue! To be a Michigan Bull. Go Blue! To be a Michigan Bull. To be a Michigan. Let's go Blue! Hail to the victors valiant. Hail to the conquering heroes. Hail, hail to Michigan, the leaders and best. Hail to the victors valiant. Hail to the conquering heroes.